tank.
Oh, yeah.
So I got leverage in my garage.
Dale, are you
Tank
planning on
off
pushing
that because,
To what?
No.
I didn't
Something
plan
happened.
on it. I just finished up doing it.
I got it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I like it.
So. We'll talk about it a little bit. I'm sure it's come to conversations about what it would be like.
How much?
And a larger facility. Saving you guys money and giving you more spot. And again, I don't know.
Definitely.
But he's gonna be there, and that's, I mean, they.
okay, 7 o'clock, I'd like to call meeting to order. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna swear in Ann Debroy.
Please raise your right hand. I, Ann Debroy,
I, Ann Debroy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of City Council 3rd Ward Council Member
of City Council 3rd Ward Council Member
in and for the City of Hastings,
in and for the City of Hastings,
County of Berry,
County of Berry,
and State of Michigan,
and State of Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Notice I let you get back to your seat before I said roll call.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Barlow.
Here.
Brem.
Here.
Devroy.
Here.
McLean. Here. Nesbit.
Here.
Rezegi.
Here.
Rocha.
Here.
Stenzelbarton.
Here.
Tassava.
Here, please rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. Everybody get a chance to look at the agenda. Any additions or corrections?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Support.
Okay, motion by McLean, supported by Brem, to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Also in your packet, you have the minutes of the January 27th, 2025 regular meeting. So I entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the January 27th, 2025, regular meeting, excuse me.
So
I've got
moved.
two of them here. Rocha. Do I hear a
Support.
Too many minutes to approve here tonight.
Yeah.
Motion by Rocha, supported by McLean, to approve the minutes of the January 27th, 2025 regular meeting minutes. Any discussion? Roll call.
Brem.
Yes.
Devroy.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Nesbit.
Yes.
Rezegi.
Yes.
Rocha.
Yes.
Stenzelbarton.
Yes.
Barlow.
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Also in your packet, we have the minutes of the January 27th, 2025 special meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Support.
Okay, motion by Stenzelbarton, supported by Barlow, to approve the minutes of the January 27th, 2025 special meeting minutes as presented. Discussion? Roll call.
Brem.
Yes.
Yes. Devroy.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Nesbit.
Yes.
Rezegi.
Yes.
Rocha.
Yes.
Stenzelbarton.
Yes?
Barlow.
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Also, earlier at your desk were the minutes of the January 27th, 2025 closed session meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve and place those on file?
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Okay, motion by Stenzelbarton, supported by McLean, to approve the minutes of the January 27, 2025 closed session meeting minutes. Roll call.
McLean,
Yes.
Nesbit,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Okay, next item, public hearing. We have none. Public comment. Anybody at this time would like to get up and tell us what you're thinking? I'll give you 3 minutes. Formal recognitions and presentations. Dave Hatfield's on the agenda tonight. He has no report, so he's not here tonight. Item B, presentation from Justin Smith for Hammond Hill disc golf updates. Justin?
How are you, sir?
Good.
I love these meetings. We get to showcase what we've been doing, working hard. All right, I think I'm good. All right, so we have a slideshow of kind of some, I'm not going to make it long, I'm going to make it short and sweet, but just kind of discuss what's been going on in 2024 at Hammond Hill. Do I have a click to the next thing? So these are some of the key points: updated traffic, success, upgrades, Michigan Pro States, tentative layout and goals, and open to questions. Let's start off with the first thing. So this is one of my favorite things to showcase. This is what's going on. So what you're seeing right now is play counts and what our high months and our low months. Just this year alone, we've had 5,668. Can you go to the next one real quick? I'm going to have you zigzag back and forth. So this one shows the last 2 years. So the last 2 years on UDisc alone, we have brought in almost 19,000 people playing Hammond Hill Disc Golf Course. And that's just using the UDisc app, and that's about 30 to 40% of what's actually being recorded. So that's impressive. Like 19,000 in 2 years is huge. We're on a rise, and you can kind of see that. Go back to the previous one. This is really fun. It shows that people are driving about 50 kilometers. We had 29 people from different states. We have had 11 different countries, one from Canada province, but this shows an average person, how far they're driving to play our course, where they're coming from, how many steps that they're taking, and everything else. But so this is definitely huge. Slide to the next one after this. So we're going to talk about successes. Go to one more. So we've had some major tournaments this year. We've had some of the biggest tournaments Hastings has ever had. We've had 144 and 180 person event that lasted 2 days, which is huge for an 18-hole course because the main capacity is about 72 people, four per hole. So for us to be able to host that many and that little area is huge. The flow is just smooth and phenomenal. I'm pretty impressed with that because those are big events, and there's a lot of people there. I have pictures of parking just extended out to the main road. So we've had a couple of other big events. We've had the biggest glow around event in November in the world, actually. We had 120 people. I had them out of there at that course by 9:30, so I was pretty stoked about that. It flowed smoothly. It was one of the greatest events because it's not often that you get to do that. It's very rare. Thirdly, we had the second biggest women's event in Michigan. We got beat out by 5 participants. Women, I'm pushing really hard. There's not very many that play the sport, but we had 67 women at this event, the second biggest in the whole series out of 7. So I was pretty impressed with that. A couple other things. We had a lot of events. We had over 21 events. This year we're kicking it back like big time. I want about 13, 12 events so that we can finish some of these upgrades that are happening. I didn't have a lot of time to be able to maintain the course, run the events, and build. That was hard on me this year. So this year I'm going to focus mostly on building and finish some of these so that we can have bigger and bigger events. The more holes that we put in, the better parking, the more we can bring. The next one, upgrades. Go ahead, click to the next one. These are some of the upgrades that we have added this year. This is hole 2, which is pretty cool because you get to see it from the road. Right when you pull in, you see it from the sign. This is erosion and it's safety. Now people can walk up to that and then safely come down instead of having it be in a hill, that incline. So we worked really hard on this. Next one. These are some of the standard out there now. We have benches that are permanently in the ground because when we have a PDGA sanctioned event, you're not allowed to move those. You get penalized. So I was like, so how do I avoid discrepancies? Well, we cement them in. Nobody can move them. We're never going to have that issue. And the design is really towards where you can't really see it from the long. So shorts are very strategically placed. You don't even see them, and they rarely come into play. These pictures show that the bins I put in the ground because it helps me from tipping them because it's hard for me to lift them up. So that helps me just bend it over and dump it in. So it helps for anybody to empty the trash and things like that. Next slide. This one, I'm continuing to push erosion control around the pads. This is what destroy pads. If we do it right, it's nice, level, and flat. We don't have erosion and it protects it, and we don't have mildew or things to make the pad slippery because that is the most important part when it comes to disc golf. That's where you are running up really fast and you throw hard. You want that space to be perfect, beautiful. So I've made a standardization, having walls around it and controlling the erosion so they will last for 40 to 30 years instead of breaking and erosion ruining them. So next slide. We are completely done with the main steps. This was a massive project, took about 2 years and a lot of money. But those steps down from hole 1 is some of the safest, and you have a bench at the bottom. We have a fence at the back of one of the holes. The Bike Association cut into our course a little bit, but we came up with a quick solution to make it safe for both. They had a great reason to make that cut because they're coming down a hill and visibility. They want to be able to see around the corner. So those trees did need to go. We came up with a fence because it's coming down so that it didn't roll into the bike trail. So that was our solution, and it looks professional. I plan on putting kind of like sponsorship signs on them too to make them kind of like look nice and stuff. Next slide. These are some of the erosion control that I'm doing. Some of them where you have an elevation where it's up. I built the T-pad higher up so then water doesn't get into it and it's safe. And those wood chips, I love wood chips. That helps with the flow of the course without needing signs and stuff like that. So the left is the starting and the right is the finish. That's with the chips and everything else. It just makes it aesthetically look beautiful and it's comfortable on your feet. And next slide. These are some of the process. You kind of get to see what, how we do some of those pads. We dig them into the ground. I try to make them flush as possible because some courses, for example, like sessions, they're tilted and you're throwing up and they have holes in them so you can hurt yourself. I really did a lot of research and they're angled just enough to where rain runs off of them. So you're not going to have rain sitting on them or anything like that. But I have a good crew. But every pad is like this. We are standardizing courses. Next slide. This is huge. We have a massive event. We got picked out of Michigan out of all of the people. We are hosting Pro States. Pro States is a tournament system where if you win, you get invited to this prestigious event. So we are getting people to win all these events all over Michigan, and the finals is here in Michigan, or finals is in Hastings. So that's huge. We did the YMCA entity, so it'd be the first bid from Berry County for an event like this. This is huge. And they approved it our first year we put it in, so I'm excited. That means that hard work paid off. They see what we're doing, and we're a good venue to be able to host something like that. So pretty stoked about that. That's a big win for us in Hastings. Next one. All right, so this is our loop expansion. This is, next one, please. So what you see right now is the white and is permanent. So A, B, C, D are the new ones that I've been able to put in. The black line is the tentative. That's what I want to put in. So everything is cut and ready to almost go. I have to decide on how I want to do the T-pads. I'm not sure if I want to do pavers or cement because I like how things look in fields. I don't like big cement pieces. I want to make it kind of beautiful. So I'm going towards pavers. I haven't decided yet. But this is the tentative plan. We have a few of the holes are going to get adjusted a little bit because on the left side near the parking lot, it looks like we're going to be getting an expansion. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm hoping in the future the pavilion will go on the top left-hand side by A up there. But this is the tentative plan. So this is a 9-hole loop. When I am done with all of the expansion, we will have 4 9-hole loops, and this makes us special because we don't have to have multiple bathrooms facilitated around the course. Every loop starts from the main parking lot and finishes with the main parking lot. And this also gives us the ability to mix and match. We're a plug and play. We could play loop 1 and 2, there's your 18. Or you can play 2 and 3, or, you know, you can mix and match. So it opens up the door for a hard course or an easy course. So this makes us stand out a lot. We are officially a plug and play. We can make any event that you want. You want it hard, we'll make it hard. You want it easy, we'll make it easy. So this is huge. This loop will be the first loop I'm hoping to finish this year. And then next year I hope to finish the back hole loop, which I already have 5 baskets, but that one's going to be a little bit hard to work on, getting cement back there. We're going to probably have to do it by hand. Next one. And we'll go with upgrades real quick. So one of the biggest hits that we got was our T signs. So I took some time. These are not just your regular T signs, these are advanced. So we have one more QR code coming down here for drone footage, and when you click on this, this will show you the footages from everything here. So this is like your caddy version, your professional. It'll show all of the foot. So this is T-pad, longs, shorts, and it shows you elevation and everything else. I didn't want to do something simple, so it took me a little bit on the signs, but this is what these signs will look out and the size on Hammond Hill. So we have done a new logo too to make it look a little bit nicer. So, but yeah, these are the signs. This was one of the biggest hits that knocked us on our course review. But that's in play, and we'll probably be here in about a month and a half. They will be installed. Go to goals real quick next. Some of these things that I want to do is finish retaining walls, repair 13's mound, T-shelters. I want to modify rest of the benches, working with Sarah with the kiosk, working with Travis Tate on the parking. Finish the 9-hole loop expansion, which I just kind of discussed a little bit, and wood chips. I want wood chips. Give me all your wood chips. So I want them all. And then a new mower. I've worked with the city a little bit. They let me borrow one. It's in the shop again so that I can have something to keep up. The little mowers that I'm working is just not cutting it. And for me to invest in a zero turn is kind of hard because I live in the city. I don't, you know, to buy a $7,000, $8,000 mower for my use is not practical, but would like to see a permanent new mower somewhere out in the course to help maintain it. Other than that, I think that's it. Next slide. This is hole 13's mound. This is a top priority. This is our signature hole for Hammond Hill, and you can tell the basket's kind of tilted. My goal is to do a Mayan effect. I would like to do a 3-tier to walk up and nicely and have it, you know, steps instead of like a mound. So if it is rainy or snowy, people aren't slipping and sliding. Because number one to me out there is safety. That's my first priority. I look out for people before anything else. And this is starting to erode away, and it's our premier hole. So this will be some money I'm going to invest in this year's on this hill. So, but I'm going to do it simple. Well, it's not simple, but it's going to be a little 3-tier Mayan effect. Next one. So I'm opening it up for questions.
Anybody got any questions?
Comment?
So, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So is this all your money that's doing all this out there, or do you have,
So with a lot of the events that I do out there, I was doing it in the first couple of years. It was coming out of my pocket, and these last probably 6 years, I run events to help fund these projects. So, for example, the MVP space race, that funded that whole staircase. That staircase costed me just a little under $4,000, and that tournament paid for that. So I run events to help provide things out there, and we get donations and stuff like that. The YMCA is I'm very lucky to have the YMCA help with the 501c3 and that types of things. It'll go to their tax ID. But eventually I would like to do something for Hammond, like the club itself, to help that. So, but yeah, I was funding it for a little bit, but now I run events to help fund those projects. So.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Great job.
So, thank you. thank you. Thousands
Nice
and
job.
thousands of hours.
That's good to hear, and that's pretty exciting for our
So,
community.
It is. It's one of the highest ranked in Michigan. We are ranked 27th right now in Michigan, and we have 526 courses in Michigan. So Michigan, like we're moving up in the ranks. There's a couple things that hold us back, and that's what I'm hoping to work on. Is a pavilion and a bathroom, a permanent structure. Now that we're getting women out there and stuff like that, they don't like using the porta-john, but they'll use it. But things like that will bring it up to another level. Having a new parking lot, a pavilion, and a kiosk, and a couple little things, and it's set. So there's not much we can do. So, but yeah.
Any other comments?
So
So these people that are coming in, playing out there, are they spending the weekend, do you think?
so yes, we some of these events they're coming here, and they're so for example like Pro States, you're gonna have people come all over. They're gonna stay here. We're in a beautiful place because we're literally 30-40 minutes away from Grand Rapids, Lansing, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek. We are logistically, eventually I want them here, like in Hastings, if we can facilitate that, get more, housing and more campsites. And the YMCA opened up using their cabins when people can come over here and stay. But I am trying to push that because last year was the first year of the biggest events that we've ever had. And it was the first year of multiple day events. We had an event that is 2 days. The Pro States is 3 days. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So a lot of people are going to be staying here. One of my favorite things, too, is when people come here, they go to the gas station because it's so close, and they're going to get food on break time and stuff like that. My parking lot is empty at lunchtime, which I love because that means they're bringing money back into here. And honestly, that's what we're trying to do is show them that we can do a great job and do better than some of the others. So, but yeah, that's my goal.
Okay, thank you.
So, thank you, guys.
We have a couple of small events that happen in Hastings, so.
So, thank you very
Always
much.
looking to get more people here.
Yep.
Okay, items for action by unanimous consent. In your packet, you have a request from Ken Taylor, president of Hastings Hardball Softball Club, for use of Bob King Park, Fish Hatchery Park baseball fields for dates listed on your attaching letter. I know one of them, Ken. I don't think the other one's Sarah, though. So.
Yes, to introduce him, this is also Ken. This is Ken Shook, though. I am Ken Taylor. Ken has been a big part of our program as well. I do not have a presentation like Justin. He knocked that out of the park, so thanks for making me follow that one up. Just real quick about us, we revamped youth baseball 8 years ago. This is our 8th season with the Hastings Hardball Softball Club. We use Fish Hatch and Bob King a lot. Our softball teams use those as well. They're mainly the baseball fields, but our softball program uses those as well. When we first started this, we were under 100 kids. 8 years ago, last year we had just over 225 kids coming through our program. I think we had 22 combined teams between baseball and softball. To brag on the girls a little bit, our first year starting this, the girls that were the first year, they were the JV softball team last year. And unofficially from Mike Goggins, he said that they had the best softball record that has come through Hastings in the entire time he was the AD here. So we feel this is a great feeder program for our high school sports in baseball and softball. So if you have any questions, I am happy to answer them.
Let me entertain a motion to approve this first.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Motion by McLean, supported by Rucha. Any questions or comments from anybody? I've had grandkids go through this program. You guys know who I'm talking
Yes,
about.
sir.
And I knew who that was. I know it wasn't Sarah. But, you've got a great program. I've watched you for the last 8 years, and the Y program's great. It gets kids started, T-ball and all that. But this here is this is real baseball.
Yes.
And these kids at that level are real competitive because of your coaching. And I've watched both you guys coach. I think you're doing a great job. So.
Thank you.
Any more questions or comments?
What age span?
So we start from 6 to 8 years old in our not our T-ball program, but our coach pitch program, and we go all the way up to 14U. So, and actually in our league, if there's a child or a kid who doesn't make the freshman baseball team in high school, they can come back down and play with us for another year, so they're not missing a year of baseball or softball. So.
The only thing you're missing out there is a mound.
Yes, well, and we are working on, we had a dad build a mound to specs. It's a removable mound. So this year we are going to put it in place. We are going to have our baseball teams use them. And then we're just going to move it out of the way when we're not on the field. So.
Is that something though, with that portable mound, you can do tournaments out there? Because I think you guys haven't been able to do that.
So in order to host our end of the year tournament, we are required to have a mound, and you are right, we have not been able to host that, but with that, we can now host the end of the year tournament.
Good.
So,
Good.
Yes.
Any other comments? Roll call.
Stenzel Barton.
Yes.
Rezegi.
Yes.
Rocha.
Yes.
Nesbit.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Brem.
Yes.
Devroy.
Yes.
Barlow.
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. We'll be watching you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, we have a request from the Tangletown Steering Committee to host Spring Fling at Bob King fundraising and promotional event on Saturday, May 17th, 2025, from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved. Support.
Motion by Nesbit, supported by Brem, to approve the Tangletown Steering Committee to host Spring Fling at Bob King fundraising and promotional event on Saturday, May 17th, 2025, from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Questions? We have somebody here that can probably tell you everything she wants to about it. So, what's your plan, Sarah? I gotta hear you talk.
The plan.
Yeah.
So the primary purpose of the event is to introduce people to the final design for the Tangletown reconstruction. So we'll have a large picture banner that we plan to leave on the site with a QR code so that people can access information from the website as well as donate through that link as well. The fund is being held at the Berry Community Foundation, so people can donate that way. But we just want to introduce people to the design as well as celebrate all that the existing Tangletown has done for our community, as well as the entirety of Bob King Park. So we'll have a few food trucks, a foam party. We may have a cornhole tournament. That's still kind of up in the air. But really just inviting people to come out, learn about the new design, learn about the project, and enjoy the time as a family.
Any questions? Over there. So this isn't a fundraiser though, so we don't have to pass any resolution or anything?
We will be telling people how they can donate funds. I doubt we're going to be collecting them specifically. That part hasn't quite been worked out, but I don't think that we're going to be doing a lot of direct fundraising other than promoting the where they can go to fundraise.
Okay. No further questions? Roll call.
Rezegi.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Barlow.
Yes.
Devroy.
Yes.
Brem.
Yes.
Nesbit.
Yes.
Stenzel Barton.
Yes.
Rocha.
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, next item, item C, I entertain a motion to approve under direction of staff the request from Pavement Ends Incorporated, conduct the 16th annual Barry Robay Killer Gravel Road Race on Saturday, April 12th, 2025, commencing and finishing in the city of Hastings. Did I hear that motion?
I'll make that motion. I'll support.
Motion by McLean, who is support?
I'll
Barlow?
support.
Okay, motion by McLean, support by Barlow to approve motion under the direction of staff, the request from Pavement Ends Incorporated conduct the 16th annual Barry Robay Killer Gravel Road Race on Saturday, April 12th, 2025, commencing and finishing in the city of Hastings. This is probably one of the smaller bicycle races around. We have the organizers right in front of us. Introduce yourself.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. My name is Scott Tenkate. I'm one of the co-owners and event directors of Barry Robay. To my left is Matt Acker. He's also co-owner and event director. And we are here tonight to once again thank the city for hosting the world's largest gravel road race, and also ask permission to once again host the 16th annual race, as mentioned, on April 12th, 2025. A couple fun facts that you can share with your friends over coffee tomorrow is the 2025 race sold out in less than 36 hours with 5,400 racers.
Nice.
So that's a huge number. Once again, we continue to raise the cap minimally. It was about 10% over 2024's numbers. Our goal is to continue to just manage the growth, so we don't lose control of any aspect of it, whether it be parking with the city, interaction with the residents, the experience for our racers out on the course. We're going to continue to just notch it up little by little. Another fact with that quick sellout, we right now have over 500 that are on the wait list trying to get into the race. So the runway for gravel racing is continuing to, look strong for the future. And what's great is Hastings in the cycling community is known around the world and is part of like the epicenter of gravel racing. So cycling is obviously a huge worldwide sport. This year we have racers that are representing 48 states and 8 countries. So all these people coming to the city of Hastings is a pretty amazing scene, as Mr. Mayor witnesses every year when you're up, giving your announcement to them. Last year we implemented a few changes that we found were very successful. One of them was we expanded the after party area. We are pretty limited on our space as we're using the BCF and the Green Street Church parking lots, and then some of the city streets at Center and Church. As we continue to grow, and if it's a nice day, we get a lot of spectators that show up. So changing the finish where it used to finish down Center Street, down Church Street, we changed that a little bit. So now it's finishing on Center Street in Jefferson. That proved to be real good success, a real great success for both the racers, the riders, the spectators, and then, like I was saying, it gave us a lot of extra room to expand the after-party awards celebration. One of the other things we implemented was we pushed back a little bit some of the start times for safety reasons. That worked out well. We've worked with Dale, Dan, Sarah on some of the impacts of that, having the DPS out there a little later because some of our racers are finishing later. And I think it worked pretty smoothly. We may be, within a half hour of what we've typically done, but overall it made, the event much safer. We were able to get almost all of the racers in to cross the finish line before we reopen Green Street. One of the things we're very proud of is we continue to invest in the future of the sport. And this year, once again, all youth 18 and under race Barry-Roubaix for free. This is something that Matt and I feel strongly about, both giving back, to our community and the next generations of the sport. In the early years, we'd get about 20 youth 18 and under. Last year, we had over 300 boys and girls that were racing. In addition to they race for free, we have youth team competitions within the race, and the winning teams each get $1,000 for their organization. And since we're talking about money, a couple other things we're pretty proud of is we couldn't put this race on without the city for one and our great partners across Berry County. It's been so amazing over the 16 years to really develop some great relationships, some real friendships, and the organizations and the nonprofits that are helping us to put this race on. We have over 40 organizations and 350 paid volunteers that are helping us to put on this race. And in return, we are paying them and their organizations to help us. So last year, it was over $30,000 that was paid to the Berry County organizations, and it's some of their biggest fundraisers for the year. And in addition to that number, the Hastings Rotary, they ran the beer tent and the after party, and I know they did very well. I don't know if I can disclose their numbers, but they did very well. We went through like 50 kegs, so. So we're very proud of, you know, working with the city, working with the broader county, and, you know, I'd be happy to entertain any questions as I see there's some new council members that may not be that familiar with Barrier Bay. But I appreciate the support you've given us over the years, and once again, what the city officials are doing to really invest in the event and make it as great as it is. So thank you.
Any questions down there, John?
I just, you know, I've been to the after party, not as a bike rider because I couldn't do it, but just because the beer tent's fantastic. But the pre-party, what exactly does that entail? Because I've never been out there before, and what is that whole event? Because that seems like it's a great kickoff to the actual event itself, and I just wanted to, if you could expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, this is something Matt and I, you know, Matt does a lot of racing and travels quite a bit to the biggest events. And what we're seeing is the trend is they're trying to get people to town earlier and make it really a festival of the weekend and celebrating, you know, not just come in for the day and leave. So our idea was to do the B4 Berry social party. So we've got the bonfires, the beers, we do bike group rides, we do a giant gravel gear raffle where we give away over $10,000 worth of prizes to people. We have the food trucks. And it's growing, and obviously it's weather related, but it's really proven to get people in town and get them excited about, you know, coming here and giving them something else to do. So we're going to continue to lean into that, and just, yeah, hope it continues to grow. Just obviously it's the more we can get people here on Friday and they're spending another night in the county, is certainly benefit for everyone. So
Any other questions?
I don't have a question, I just have a comment. I am new on the board, but I am not new to Barry-Roubaix, and I am really, really proud that we are able to have you guys come here. I am like a half block from the starting line, and I love it. And there's just excitement for those days, and I'm really, really glad that you have done this.
thank you.
I have two questions.
Go ahead, Jackie.
Number one, I have two questions. Well, this is number one, I have two questions. Does the 5,400 racers include the 18 and under kids?
Yes.
Okay. And then the second question, do you have to be part of an organization to volunteer, or can someone just like me say, oh, I want to volunteer, I want to give back to my community and help this great event, and how would someone go about doing that?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. So anybody, by all means, can volunteer. We're always looking for great people to help out. We're one of the rare events that, on top of the awesome police presence out on course to keep things safe, we have hundreds of corner marshals and people all over. A lot of events they kind of they release the hounds, and then it's like, well, I hope you make it back okay, like we'll be here, you know. And so with that, there's a monumental task of getting volunteers out there. And we have a form on our website where it sends you to a link where you just fill out some simple info of like, hey, if you want to help out, like, what would you like to do? Would you like to corner marshal, help at the after party, so on and so forth. And then we have a volunteer coordinator. Her name is Marlea Bevilacqua, and she'll reply to that email. I'm copied on them. I see it, but we brought her on to help with that massive amount of work. But anybody's, you know, certainly we're happy to have anybody volunteer or attend, as you mentioned. I mean, you don't have to race. We try and get that word out too. It's like, if you want to come join one of the after parties, we love to have everybody come see what it's all
There's
about.
nothing like watching and feeling the
Yeah.
go by.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And yeah, and if you don't have a specific organization, you can either like let us know like what charity you'd like your donation made in behalf, and we usually do $50 for like a 2 or 3 hour shift. We kind of aim for that. So if somebody does a couple shifts, they can raise pretty easily couple $100 for whatever organization they want to.
Nice.
Something for like a portable pitching mound, maybe?
Yeah, we work with the track and field group. They come and do all that race shoot fencing, because we get about, I don't know, what is that, like almost a mile of it that you gotta hook together.
Oh.
And like all those kids come down and it's like, release the hounds. They just go to town. They get it done super quick, which is awesome. And they got a lot more energy than we do, so, you know, saves our backs, and they earn a couple grand, I think, in the process, so.
Second question?
No, that was my
On
two
to
questions.
Jordan, got a question?
I don't.
Norman?
Nope. Yes. I haven't missed a start in 16 races.
Wow.
I've live streamed them as well, but do you block out spaces available for locals who want to? You said it sold out in 36 hours, but do you leave a spot open for some of our locals who want to race, who are not part of the gang?
Right.
We don't specifically, but, you know, we kind of reserve the right to, we put the party on, so if we know, say, like, we have people that have done every one of them, if they don't, like, if they're not on the ball and don't get in right away, I'm like, just send me an email. Our email, info@barryroubaix.com. If there's somebody who's local and either wants to check it out or whatever, just have them email us, and I'd be happy to get them into the race.
I mean, if Mr. Mayor would like to race this year, we're gonna get him in.
I think you can do it.
Yeah, we don't have a
I can ride in the
specific
car with our chief.
form for that, but.
I'm a big fan. I
Thank
mean,
you.
I never get tired of watching
No.
3,000 people.
Me either.
I know.
Any comment, Bill? Question? Well, I've been mayor for 8 years. I've been up on that corner 7 of the 8 years, because we didn't do it one year. And I tell everybody, and I challenge this group here to come up there at 6:45 Saturday morning and watch the first race take off in the dark.
I'm
But
out
just
there.
to hear them go down the road, you know. and,
Screaming.
like I say, I haven't asked the chief yet if we can use his fire truck up there. I hope we can. But there isn't a better seat in the house than up in the buck of that fire truck watching these groups take off. And it's welcoming. I think, you know, you see a lot of negative comments on social media about it, but I think the majority of the people in Berry County love this event. And everybody knows when it's gonna happen.
Yep.
You know, and what I like about the Berry Roubaix coming back year in, year out is there isn't hardly any weekend when the weather's nice, there isn't a couple hundred bicycles in town.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, and
Oh,
that's all
true.
year long, you know, and,
Yeah, always practice.
any other questions?
That's great.
Oh, one question I had. Because of the construction that's gonna start, is that gonna start?
That's not gonna happen till
It isn't.
later, is it?
No, so Consumers Energy is going to start a gas main replacement project in advance of this event, but they know when the event is, they're going to be off-site
Okay.
during that, and then we won't start our project until Consumers is pretty
Good.
close to done or completed. So.
Dan and Sarah and Dale, we met back in the fall and we discussed this and having a backup plan should it be
Yeah.
affected, but it sounds like we're gonna get lucky.
So how
Good.
many you got registered for the first race, the 100-miler?
We actually just met the other day, so we cap it at 400 because like we send them early and they are kind of out on their own. So
Yeah.
we like to keep that limited, but the demand was really high for that. That wait list was up there, and you know, where it makes sense, we try and add people in. It's like if they want to come and have a good time and spend their money, we don't want to tell them no. So it'll be 500 this year. There's an extra 100 in there. And there's still people waiting. We just kind of, like Tanner mentioned, we try to kind of keep things tidy because, you know, we don't want to find some type of breaking point, whether it's with safety or parking or anything. You know, make it unnecessarily stressful, if you will. So, yeah, 500. So, and then I think our signature 36 is almost 2,500, which is bigger than almost any other race in the country.
So
by
I
itself.
have an electric bike, and I
No.
got So I want to tell you one
Came up
little
wide.
story before I ask for a vote on this. I was at Spectrum, Carwell, is that what it is now?
Corwell.
Corwell. in Grand Rapids about a month ago. A family member had a heart issue, and I was in the catheter lab with them. The family was in there, and this nurse came in there, and she's probably late 60s. Something was said about where we're from and like that, and this lady says, well, I come there every year for the Berry Roubaix. So,
Oh, yeah.
You know, you'd be surprised at people you run into, you know, that, and I do. I'm out and about on the weekend, Friday night, you know, you stop in a restaurant someplace, and you always talk to somebody that came from Indiana, New York, London, you know. So we've talked to a lot of people around here. I'm glad you guys do this every year. It's exciting, you know, it makes this job worth doing. But
Thank you.
okay, no other questions? We have a motion by McLean, supported by Barlow, under direction of staff, the request for Pavement Ends Incorporated conduct their 16th annual Berry Roubaix Killer Gravel Road Race on Saturday, April 12th, 2025, commencing and finishing in the city of Hastings. No other questions? Roll call.
McLean,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Devroy,
Yes.
Nesbit,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes.
See you then.
Thank you.
Have fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Honk your horn in the 100 block of West Green Street when you go
There you
through
go.
there.
Yeah.
I do that every day.
Got a long drive.
Okay, item D, receive and place on file 6 invoices totaling $72,814.65. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Support.
Motion by Stenzelbarton, supported by Devroy.
Yes.
That's what I heard.
Yes.
To receive and place on file 6 invoices totaling $72,814.65. These are all been pre-approved items, so no discussion. Roll call.
Barlow,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Nesbit,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Devroy,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Okay, item 11, motion to approve fire chief's request to execute a grant contract with MyOSHA to accept the awarded grant of $5,000 with dollar-for-dollar match. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion, sir. I'll support.
Motion by Barlow, supported by Brem, to approve the fire chief's request to execute a grant contract with MyOSHA to accept the award grant of $5,000 with dollar-for-dollar match. Questions? Roll call.
Brem,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Devroy,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Nesbit,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Staff presentations and policy discussion. A, social media policy review. Sarah?
So it was requested that we take a look at the social media policy, and see if there were any proposed changes. So I've included, what it says out of the rules of procedure into your packet, for review and discussion. I don't have any proposed modifications, but if you want to propose any changes or set up training or anything like that, just let me know.
Any comments? The only one comment I have is we just approved this the first meeting in January. And I think everybody understands, what they can and can't do on social media, so I don't see any. We'll move on then. Unless somebody wants to. Okay, city manager's report.
So just a couple additional things. I have been working with MD7 on the water tower easement for the AT&T communications. I anticipate having something for you at the next meeting to review. The documents are at the city attorney's office. I just sent them over there. They want us to review a sample easement first and sign a letter of interest prior to putting forth the work to cater and tailor it to our specific situation. So the steps will be the letter of interest, and then they'll finalize the documents and send them back for final approval. So that's how that is structured. I also wanted to let you know that I made a presentation to the board of the Rotary Club today because they're picking a park project to focus on. It sounds like they've narrowed it down to maybe a couple of things that they want some more information on. So hopefully within the next month or two, I'll have some good news for you about what project they want to focus on and how we can partner with them on some of our park improvements. So that's what I have today.
Okay, thank you. In your packet, you have Fire Chief Jordan's monthly report. Anything to add, Mark?
You'll notice in the report that I did comment that the calls for service are dramatically increasing. We just hit 100 for this year today, so it's about a 20% increase over last year. So we're really seeing an uptick in calls for service from the residents, which is, by the way, why I was late this evening, so I apologize for that. So, yep, that's it though.
So are most of those medical?
Yeah, a lot of medicals. Yeah, they're really climbing up now. But there's a lot of influenza floating around right now. So we're seeing a lot of uptick in the medicals right now.
Okay. Any questions? Thanks, Mark. Also in your packet, you have Library Director Edelman's monthly and annual report. Anything to add to your report, Dave? Any questions of the director? It's got a good sound to it, director.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to comment. I've looked over the reports and some of the things that are coming out and the things that you guys do at the library. It's a lot of fun. There's so much for everyone. It's not just, there's just a wide variety of things to do, and I think that's so much fun. If there was any comment I could make, I would say I wish that more people knew about the things that were going on, because there's just so much going on, not just for kids, but for adults, and it's a lot of fun to see some things you guys have going on there, so.
Thank you.
Very well.
Okay, item 14, reports and communications. Item A, Hastings Public Library Board of Trustees draft minutes of February 3rd, 2025. And item B, and it's a good read, 2024 building permit report. Entertain a motion to accept those two items and place them on file.
Support, or motion made.
Support.
I was already jumped the gun.
It happens.
Motion by Rocha, supported by McLean, to accept items A and B and place them on file. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Public comment. Public. Mayor and council comment. John?
No.
John?
None tonight, sir.
Ann?
Nope. Well, you know I have a lot to say.
Yeah, I know. Any comment tonight, Brandon or Jordan?
Flew right past me.
Norman? Jerry?
I apologize for my phone going off. I really seriously thought I turned it off. I apologize.
Okay, nothing else to come before council. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Support. Motion by McLean, supported by Rocha to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Thanks for spending the evening with us.
Thanks for having us.
Have fun, guys.
So,
So, are you going to be coaching at the high school level?